Single dad sent a flirty text to cold CEO by mistake. 5 minutes later, she was outside his house. The phone buzzed just once, and in that single second, Evan Cole unknowingly tilted the axis of his quiet, overworked life, because the flirty text he had meant to delete, not send, was now glowing on the screen of the most intimidating CEO in the city. Evan was a single dad who measured his days in lunchboxes packed, bedtime stories read twice because his daughter Maya liked the sound of his voice, and unpaid bills stacked neatly so they wouldn't look as heavy as they felt. He worked from home doing freelance accounting at night, his dining table permanently half-covered in spreadsheets and crayons. Romance wasn't even on the calendar of his thoughts. Exhaustion had taken that seat years ago. That night, after finally getting Maya to sleep, he'd opened his phone and drafted a playful text he never planned to send. Just words tossed into the void to remind himself he was still human, still capable of charm. Something warm, teasing, hopeful. He meant it for no one, but autocorrect and a recent business contact had other plans. The message went to Claire Ashford. Claire Ashford was known citywide as the Ice Queen CEO, the woman who ran Ashford Dynamics with surgical precision and emotional distance. Her reputation preceded her. Ruthless in negotiations, brilliant in strategy, allergic to excuses. Evan had met her only once, briefly, during a virtual consultation where his firm helped audit a subsidiary. He remembered her calm voice, her eyes sharp even through a screen, and the way she ended the call without small talk. He definitely did not remember flirting with her. Yet there it was on her phone. A message full of warmth, humor, and a line that ended with, "Anyone who can make a Tuesday feel lighter deserves coffee and a smile." Evan realized the mistake seconds after sending it. His stomach dropped. He stared at the screen, heart pounding, thumb hovering over an apology that felt impossible to write. What do you say to a woman like Claire Ashford? "Sorry, that wasn't meant for you. Please forget you ever saw it." He imagined his professional life collapsing in on itself. Before he could type anything, 3 dots appeared, then disappeared. Then nothing. 5 minutes later, the doorbell rang. Evan froze. It was late. No one ever came by unannounced. He checked the baby monitor. Maya was still asleep. Another ring, firmer this time. He opened the door cautiously, and there she was. Claire Ashford. No entourage. No guards. Just her, standing under the porch light in a simple coat, hair slightly undone, expression unreadable. "I believe you sent me a message," she said. Evan's brain short-circuited. Words tripped over each other as he tried to explain, apologize, disappear all at once. But something unexpected happened. Claire smiled. It was small, almost shy, like she hadn't used that muscle in a while. "I was 5 minutes away," she said quietly. "And no one has ever spoken to me like that without wanting something in return. I wanted to see who you were." They sat at the kitchen table, steam rising from mugs of hastily made tea. Evan talked about Maya, about working late nights, about how lonely things can feel even when you're doing everything right. He didn't try to impress her. He didn't even realize he was being himself. Claire listened, really listened. She spoke, too, about pressure, about being surrounded by people yet feeling unseen, about how power can become a wall instead of a shield. That night didn't end in romance. It ended in understanding. When she left, she paused at the door and said, "Thank you for reminding me what warmth sounds like." Evan didn't sleep at all, unsure if any of it had been real. The next morning, everything changed. The city woke up buzzing, and so did Evan's phone, emails, calls, confusion, because Claire Ashford had made a decision that no boardroom could have predicted, and it all traced back to one accidental text and one ordinary kitchen table. By noon, Evan was staring at a formal offer from Ashford Dynamics, a long-term consultancy contract with flexible hours, generous pay, and one unusual clause: weekly in-person strategy meetings, location flexible. Evan nearly laughed at the screen, convinced it was a mistake layered on top of another. But when he met Claire again, this time in her glass-walled office overlooking the city, she was all business, until the meeting ended and she asked, softly, "How's Maya?" Over weeks, their lives began to overlap in unexpected ways. Claire learned how to kneel on the floor to build crooked Lego towers. Maya learned that not all important people wore capes. Some wore tired smiles and carried invisible weights. Evan learned that strength didn't always sound loud. And Claire learned that vulnerability wasn't weakness. It was courage without armor. Challenges came, of course. The media noticed. Rumors sparked. Board members questioned her judgment. Evan questioned his place in her world. One night, after a harsh article painted him as a distraction, he told Claire he couldn't be the reason she lost credibility. Claire surprised him again. She chose honesty. In a company-wide address, she spoke about leadership that remembered humanity, about decisions rooted in values, not fear. She didn't mention Evan by name, but everyone understood. For the first time, her voice shook, and the room listened harder because of it. The story didn't end with a fairy tale kiss or an instant happily ever after. It ended with something stronger. Evan built stability not just for Maya, but for himself. Claire rebuilt her company culture from the inside out. And together, slowly, carefully, they built trust, one conversation at a time. All because of a message never meant to be sent, and a door that was brave enough to open. And if there was one truth that lingered long after, it was this. Sometimes the smallest mistakes are life's boldest invitations, asking if you're willing to answer when everything you didn't plan comes knocking.